I proudly present the class of 2022. Would you please stand and remove all non-religious headgear? Will you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome our families, our friends, the faculty, the staff, and all of our other specially invited guests of the class of 22. Today marks the 145th Salem High School commencement. The class of 2022 has experienced many great lessons throughout the 4 years of high school. The ability to be flexible, the ability to be patient, and the ability to have resilience has been virtual throughout our high school days. We've experienced many methods of instruction: traditional in-person, e-learning, remote learning, virtual learning. We've all worked together through times, whether it be quarantine days or days that just had an illness that we couldn't come to school, or the days that the snow and the ice prevented us from coming to school. But we navigated through all of this. This is the first group that has 4 years has learned how to use a Chromebook. And at the end of this, they've come together with a common goal: graduation. Today is the conclusion of the greatest 13 years of your life. Every situation prepared you to attack the next level of your life. Work, military, or furthering your education, you're ready. The known schedule of being at school at 8:15 and dismissing at 3:23 will become a thing of the past. Your next step, you will step into a brave new world and meet all their expectations. All of us today present and are extremely proud of each of you as a member of the class of 2022. Each of you have traveled a unique path to the final accomplishment of graduation. Yes, today is real. The day is here, the day is yours. My hope that each of you will follow your dreams and continue to make a difference in others first. At this time, I'd like to introduce the people on the stage with us. The Central Office administrative staff and members of the Salem Community School Board. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dr. Kim Thurston, Assistant Superintendent. Mr. Rodney Bruff, President of the School Board. Ms. Becky White, Vice President, Secretary of the School Board. Mrs. Becky Humphrey, School Board Member. Mrs. Allison Azell, School Board Member. Mr. Ray Opel, Board Member. And Mr. Mark Day, Board Member. Give them a round of applause. I'd like to introduce our high school staff that are present. Please again hold your applause until we get to the end. And if they aren't here, we apologize, but we offered it to everyone. Mr. Jerry Hickey, Assistant Principal. Mrs. Jennifer Martin, Counselor. Mrs. Chris Mahurin, Counselor. Mr. Mark Carter, Senior Sponsor. Mr. J.D. Swift, Director of our live stream producer. And would all the staff that are present today, wherever you are seated, please stand and be recognized at this time. Thank you. The class of 22 thanks you very much for your service. I also would like to take a special time to thank the middle school and elementary staff and faculty as they contributed the foundation of our success. And so would they please stand if they are in the crowd to be recognized as well. On May 13th, Salem High School held its Senior Honor Day. The students at Salem High School were again supported by our community with a really generous more than $200,000 in local scholarships. I would like to thank the community for this outstanding support and would like to have all the students in the class of 22 that received an award on Honors Day to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. The class of 22 also has two distinguished students that earned the distinction of being an Eagle Scout. They led us in the pledge. Would Matthew Hurst and Zion Dunaway please stand to be recognized? The class of 22 also has a member that will represent Salem High School at Skills USA National Competition this summer. Would Holden Kidd please stand up and be recognized? The FFA Envirothon team qualified for nationals with a state championship. Congratulations to Mr. Purley, Zion Dunaway, underclassmen Jacob Rose, Jenna Gilbert, Wyatt Rainbolt, and Sarah Haichu. Would you please stand and be recognized? On Thursday night at the boys' regional track meet, our 4x100 relay team placed third and has qualified for the state finals next weekend. I'd like to recognize Mr. Josh Lewis, coach, junior Aiden Hacker, seniors Braden Cummings, Grant Mehurin, and Trevin Smedley. Please stand and be recognized. The class of 22 has several students that have enlisted to be in the military in the upcoming year. I would like them to please stand and please hold your applause until all the members are read. Skylar Geary, U.S. Army National Guard. Mason Gilstrap, U.S. Army, unable to attend, graduated midterm, and is currently in training in Missouri. Malachi Lee, U.S. Navy. Bowden Louder, U.S. Army National Guard. Blake McLaughlin, U.S. Army National Guard. Nathan Pierce, U.S. Army National Guard. Ashton Sorrells, U.S. Army National Guard. And Brooklyn Terrell, U.S. Navy. Please give them a round of applause. If you guys could please just stand a minute longer, students, please. I'd also like to recognize those in the audience that are either currently enlisted or veterans of the military to please stand and be recognized with this group. Thank you. You may be seated. And I want to just say thank you because we live in the greatest country in the world, and your service helps us. In closing, the class of 22 has a challenge. They need to step up, go forward, and make the next chapter of their life great. Be ready to make an impact on our community and our nation. Congratulations and good luck.
Hello and good afternoon to all the parents, relatives, friends, and the reason you all have to sit here for the next hour, class of 2022. My name is Avery Cockrell, and it is an honor for me to be speaking to you on behalf of the class of 2022. I want to personally thank the people who have allowed my class and me to be sitting in these caps and gowns today. Thank you to our superintendent, Dr. Thurston, the school board, faculty, staff, and especially Mr. Albert, Mr. Hickey, Ms. Martin, and Ms. Mahiran. We thank you for helping us grow and helping writing the futures of our stories. Lastly, a big thank you to all the parents and teachers. Thank you, parents and guardians, for all the love you have showered over us the past 13 years of school. Without you, a lot of us would not be able to walk across the stage today. And although our parents and guardians do play such an important role, our teachers do as well. So thank you to our parents outside our homes, our teachers. Without you, we definitely would not be here today. Thank you for the countless hours you've dedicated to your jobs and all the love and support you've constantly shown us. You will have forever made an impact on our lives here at Salem High School. I treated this speech like I did with most of my assignments through high school, waiting until last minute to actually accomplish it. Not because senioritis was treating me like a punching bag, but because in my mind, when I started writing this, it would become reality that we are graduating today. Roughly 700 days we have spent in this high school, and when thinking about our class and what we represented, a few things came to mind. But the biggest image that flashed my mind was Taylor Swift. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are Swiftie fans, but Taylor once said, "I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22." Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with that line, and although it does fit our class very well, the next lines are what stuck out to me. And they say, "Everything will be all right if you keep me next to you." This is what I believe can really sum up our class. Everything will be all right as long as we tackle the situation together. We are the class of change in all ways, starting with our trip to Washington, D.C., the buses breaking down on the way there, and let's not forget about the way back, our amazing bus driver falling asleep at the wheel. Thank you to Mr. Mullins for kindly waking him up. He's another reason we get to walk across the stage today. And then the festival on the field incident. D. Smith learned very quickly that he needed to change his ways of starting tug-of-war because of our class. Then COVID struck. We were not even halfway through our high school careers before we had to learn to accomplish the end of sophomore and more than half of junior year through e-learning. We learned how to adapt and conquer quarantine, and we did it. Just when we thought we had been through enough big changes, we entered senior year, the year of changes. But for us, it was a little different. For most of us, our senior year has brought a lot of struggles and trials. As if the weight of college decision-making wasn't bad enough, we had to face the losses of 3 teachers and one of our very own classmates. We had to learn to experience grief alongside trying to complete our high school careers. But everything will be all right if you keep me next to you. Our class came together like no other. We represented a community and family. We set aside our differences and came together in love and support. We had change thrown at us, and instead of cowering in fear, we ran into the battle hand in hand and fought for each other. We have and will always be classmates, but because of these changes, we have proved we are family. My challenge to you, class of 2022, is to continue to be the change. Always build each other up, fight battles together, conquer trials hand in hand. As we leave here today and begin our future journeys, whether that be the military, workforce, or college, never let a challenge defeat you. When change is thrown your way, don't fear it, become it. Always remember, everything will be all right as long as you keep good people next to you. And always be that good one that others want to be next to. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Thank you to everyone who has joined us today to witness a very special moment for the class of 2022. I believe the best way to start this off is by offering some thanks. Thank you to our superintendent, Dr. Thurston, Mr. Albert and Mr. Hickey, the Salem Community Schools School Board, our teachers and staff we've had over the years, and our families, for all helping us get to where we are at this exact moment. When writing this speech, a flood of topics rose to my mind as to what I could speak about today. I could talk about all the adversity our class has experienced and the losses we have faced, and how we have had the courage and strength to push through them. Whether it be COVID, state standardized testing, online learning, or losing people very near and dear to us, our class has truly fought through a lot. However, I won't be talking about these things today. Instead, I will be talking about English class. If you have ever taken any sort of English class, you probably have written an essay. Writing an essay is actually pretty similar to what we have done here at Salem Schools. Now, bear with me through this part. When writing an essay, there are 3 important steps. First is your pre-writing. This is where you start to brainstorm about what your essay will consist of. You start to develop the layout of your rough draft and decide what direction you want to head in with your essay. Next is your rough draft. This is where you write your essay, but like I said, it's rough. You get an idea of what your essay needs to look like, but also see the flaws you need to fix in it. Lastly, you write your final draft. This is where you put everything together and it comes together perfectly. The essay aligns just the way it should. This is your A+ work. Our elementary and middle school years were our pre-writing phase. We were figuring out what we liked, who our friends might be, what we liked to participate in, and we started to develop parts of our personalities. High school was our rough draft. We started to learn who we are, what we believe in, and started thinking about what kind of mark we might want to make on this world. We got an idea of who we wanted to be, but there were still adjustments and changes that needed to be made. Now it is time to write our final draft. When writing your final draft, you can either start from scratch and rebuild and recreate your essay completely, or you can build on everything you've established in your pre-writing and rough draft phases here at Salem Schools. The choice is yours. But as we enter the world, it is our opportunity to be anything we want to be, and to write a remarkable ending to our individual stories. It is time to perfect the people we aspire to become and what we want to do with all the opportunities offered to us by this world. Take as long as you may like on your final draft, because unlike English class, there is no due date to becoming a better version of yourself. Dr. Wayne Dyer once said, "You are what you choose to be today, not what you've chosen to be before." Class of 2022, from this day forward, you get to choose who you exactly want to be. I challenge you to do this every day and to become the best A+ final draft version of yourself. And along your way, show kindness, compassion, love, joy, and be there for those around you, and live a little more like Connor would. As you enter this big, scary world, let's better ourselves and let's better the world around us. It is time to write our story of success. Thank you.
My name is Mark Carter. I have the pleasure of being the senior class sponsor for this year's senior class. Before I introduce the class to you, I'd like to make a couple of quick announcements. When the graduates have all received their diplomas, they'll be exiting the gym through this little hallway over here to the field house next door. We would ask that you please remain seated and let them exit before you start to leave yourselves. When you do leave, you can leave through the doors up here at the front of the gym. You can go through that hallway, but it's very small and tends to get kind of crowded. The quickest route is probably through the back doors, back there at the back, down that hallway and into the field house. So, thank you. As most of you know, the senior class lost a classmate a few weeks ago. Connor probably would have been at the top of his class and probably would have received his diploma first. His classmates have chosen to honor him by leaving the first seat in the first row open for him, and his father, Josh, is here to collect his diploma for him. So, Connor Lewis Anderson. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to present to you Salem High School's graduating class of 2022. Julia Victoria Casey. Michaela Elizabeth Calloway. Zion Thomas Dunaway. Ella Grace Haven. Erin Faith Henry. Claire Noel Houchin. Matthew Travis Hurst. Hayden Charles Keltner. Grant Emerson McHuron. Addison Elizabeth Reed. Tennille Marie Sorrells. Abigail Lynn Rose Yates. Kelsey Ann Walker. Joseph Anthony Beister. Carmen Loren Murdoch. Emily Anastasia Brown. Catherine May Hobbs. Macy Marie Gilliott. Sneh Carr. Natalie Catherine Noel. Abigail Lynn Ratz. Madison Elizabeth Yanavia Sapcut. Macy Gail Tomlinson. Avery Lynn Cockerell. Patricia Madigan Kidd. Hallie Rianne Kemp. Alana Nicole Snyder. Serena Sue Boofer. Gina Damian Reese. Molly Nicole Byram. Jamie Michaela Dry. Hannah Ann Fleener. Malachi Xavier Lee. Nicole Ann Ty. Adeline May Arney. Brayden Terry Bartron. James Robert Gibson. Porter Aaron Howie. Bethany Ann Payton. Zane Byron Phipps. Natalie Renee Dean. Holden Patrick Kidd. Arena Zay Hardy. Dylan Keith Whitfield. Ty Rodney Sweeney. Nicholas Andrew Garrett. Nathan Lee Pierce. Kaylee Elise Klingelsmith. Harley Alexis Simpson. Samuel Dillard Lyles. Elizabeth Renee Smedley. Raven. Raven Alexander Schneck.
Supposed to say my middle name. You weren't supposed to say my middle name.
Skylar Dominic Geary. Harley Blaze Cozart. Morgan Sedell Fields. Danny Lee Bowling. Hunter Lane Walden. Blake Lee McLaughlin. Carson Michael Cook. Blake White. Danielle Hope Romage. Kagan Alexis Jenkins. Caitlin Ann Blevins. Abigail Dawn Bowling. Jalen Elizabeth Randall. Arian Tyler Ledford. Alexis Rochelle Tucker. Jaden Hadaball. Maddie Elizabeth Nelson. Caitlin Rose Purtleball. Cheyenne Desiree Quinlan. Charlene Havana Knapp. Cameron Levi Hortonberry. Taylor Wayne Davidson. Julian Andrew Wood. Jaron Gregory Sullivan. Abigail Elizabeth Wilcox. Paula Marie Gasser. Devin Allen Rivers. Caden Amari Colon. Bowen Rollin Lowder. Hunter Randall Ewing. Hallie Marie Nelson. Abigail Faith Robbins. Cassidy Renee Miller. Mallory Dawn Price. Cheyenne Dakota Bowman. Ashton Lee Sorrells. Austin Rollins Stepro. Keenan Matthew Richardson. Brendan Lee Mazuch. Drake Landon Valentine. Nita Kiara Jarkey. Janetta Lee Kaiser. Lyrica Renee Berman. Kylie Reese Crockett. Abigail Renee Williams.
I'm gonna miss you.
Brooklyn Michelle Terrell. Thanks. Tirsa Faith Hacker. Kaylee Marie Glass. Christopher James Mather. Danielle Ray McCurran. Zephaniah Paul Bontrager. Jasmine Rose Herr. Cadence Elise Harvey. Abigail Shields. Trevin Dean Smedley. Brayton Allen Cummings. Presley Renee White. Zoe Isabella Couch. Joseph Thomas Buckler. Colin Shane Moore. Abigail Axel Krieger. Alice Carol Scott. Alexandria Jane Jarvis. Elizabeth Renee Tussey. Bailey Kiani Bowes. Zachary Edward Bowman. Bryson Perry McNeely. Dalen Michael Noggle. Jaden Michael Byram. Luke Walker Chapello. And Hayden Zachary James Colliger.